here, and I'm gonna review a My Little Pony episode that I honestly am very bare to bones not really good on, or should I say it's okay episode, but I can see it almost being bad personally. But um, I guess I'm not gonna go to dwell on the bad parts, but this episode is called Washouts from season 8. You know, my least favorite season of the entire show, and definitely number 4 on my top 8 or 7 worst seasons of cartoon history. Yes, um, yes, let's just get started. All right. Look, this episode is not terrible, but it's definitely not a great episode and pretty mediocre on the bones. And it doesn't really have too many highlights I can say because I feel like the C tier episodes are just mediocre in midward. This is ironically the midward episode. This is the midward episode of season 8, or one of them, because really season 8 only has like two midward episodes, and that are just so average in middle of the road that it's honestly surprising. Let me explain with this one though. So the episode is about Scootaloo wanting to join a new team. That's fine and new. That's fine and new. But Rainbow Dash is very concerned that she will lose her super fan. Fun fact: this episode's concept is kind of a mix of fan ideas. For one, there is a episode fan idea online on Devi Art, or what's it called again? I don't know. And basically, it's kind of a mix between this and that. One of the episode idea that was shown off was called "A Fan No More," which is different from this. See that? It's kind of a mix between a fan idea and its own thing. It's kind of like this, you know? It's kind of like, I feel like they took the idea of, like, a fan no more and put lighting bliss in it. Sorry, no. Sorry. Lighting dust. Oh my god. And mixed it all together. And, honestly, am very mixed on this one. It's very mid fiction. So let me list the things I like about this one because I have a few negatives that I want to reoccur. One is I kind of feel like Scootaloo was a little too much in this episode. I understand that she wants to be a fan of Lighting Bliss, and oh my god, I gotta stop that. I gotta stop mentioning that. Lighting Dust. Oh my god. Sorry, I guess. Okay, I gotta stop recording. Sorry. Lighting Dust, and I understand why they wanted to make a episode based around that because it sounds really cool. Lighting Dust. I mean, yeah, Lighting Dust, and Scootaloo being together sounds like a really cool episode idea from season 8. But unfortunately, season 8 is where a lot of characters went downhill, and Scootaloo's that is kind of the only exception to that. No, actually no. Trixie's the only exception to that, and probably Sunburst and probably the other characters like the Young Six. While the main characters just went downhill this season. But let's see, what can I start off with the positives though? I guess the other characters are fine in this episode. Like Twilight does in the story a bit, but the other main six are kind of useless, or kind of useless in this episode. They don't even do anything but talk. I think I really liked Spitfire in this episode. Her lines are kind of like motherish like, you know what I mean? I'm looking at you, mom. And I like how Rainbow Dash really cares about Sweetie Belle. Sorry, Scootaloo. Oh my god, I really love Sweetie Belle, but Scootaloo. Let's get back to Scootaloo. I really like her too. Uh, I love how Rainbow Dash cares about Scootaloo in this episode because it shows how a mother be like to their kids, how they care about them and so much, and they don't want them to be in danger. That's basically my mom in a nutshell, or also like a sister figure too, as well. If you be honest. Anyway. Um, it kind of shows how Rainbow Dash really is worried about sweet about no Scootaloo. My gosh, I'm messing up a lot of these words in this video. Um, and how okay, so let's move on to the probably negatives of this episode. One is kind of Scootaloo's behavior towards Rainbow Dash at the middle of the episode. I didn't really like it. Her yelling at Rainbow Dash was kind of totally uncalled for and acted very rude. Like seriously, what made Scootaloo turn into a kind of a jerk to Rainbow? I mean seriously, like I don't know. It just didn't work with me. It doesn't really work with me, and it makes kind of Rainbow. It kind of makes like it makes her look bad, honestly, in this episode, and that's not a good thing. I understand that she cannot fly and that she should join the Wonderbolts, but come on. Isn't it really necessary to yell at your own sister, your older sister that actually cares about you? I mean, crap. Lightning Bliss does not even care about Scootaloo's a danger. She just wants her to. She just encourages her to be epic and dangerous. And let me tell ya, let's get to the part where I feel like even me can agree this is where Lightning Dust messed the frick up. Okay, who on the writers decided to have a scene where Scootaloo is not trapped, strapped to her scooter and have a rock behind it, and how Lightning Bless does not care about Scootaloo's danger, and how Scootaloo almost died. Seriously, as a kid, I was kind of terrified by the scene and kind of disgusted because who in the writers would honestly make that a scene? That's literally post movie SpongeBob levels of badness. You know what this episode reminds me a lot of? A worse version of No Hat for Pat. No Hat for Pat works because Patrick was sympathetic. And that episode is funny. Like, do I have to make like a video based on comparing this to No Hat for Pat? Because you all already know what No Hat for Pat was. It was about how Patrick wants to get a hat that shows that he works somewhere, and how he doesn't want to become a loser and stuff, and how he doesn't want to be no hat for Patrick, and how he wants to have a hat to prove it. And I feel like Patrick was more sympathetic because it actually kind of made me a little sad that he lost his job as a kid because I felt sympathetic for Patrick. And that episode was funny. But what does this one do? Well, it tries to do a similar thing, but does it worse, basically. That's what I'm saying. It's unfortunate because I would have liked this episode if it was like No Hat for Pat, where it made Scootaloo sympathetic and wants to be like a and wants to prove something to Rainbow Dash that she accomplished something and not be told down by other fools. Wouldn't that make a lot of sense? Like if I rewrote this episode, I would have made it similar to No Hat for Pat, with a similar moral and something else, and replace the characters with SpongeBob characters with My Little Pony characters. You see how simple it is? I mean, I wanted this episode to take the No Hat for Pat approach because I feel like that would have worked a lot better personally, and I think it would have made one of my favorite episodes of See the Nate from My Little Pony See the Nate. Unfortunately, I guess due to the writers, they wanted to make this episode look like a worse version of No Hat for Pat, and that's kind of sad. Because I would have liked this episode if it was not because of Scootaloo's behavior, lighting Bliss's. I gotta stop that. Lighting Dust's behavior. I gotta stop that. Okay. Lighting Dust behavior towards Scootaloo, and I feel just mostly bad for Rainbow, honestly. Yeah, this is one of those episodes where I feel like Rainbow Dash is in the right, and she honestly deserves to be in the right. And I definitely think the ending and I think how I love how Scootaloo apologizes for acting kind of rude to Rainbow, which is a good lesson and a good moral about how sometimes idols can take advantage of you despite your girliness or boyiness. You know what I mean? It's kind of a similar thing with Daring Doubt. Wait, no, not Daring Doubt. Daring Don't, right? From season 4. Yeah, that episode has a similar idea of, idling someone else even though they, you know, have their own things to do and stuff. I argue this episode kind of takes a different approach, but this one is kind of more weaker than Daring Don't, which Daring Don't works because one, Rainbow Dash's fangirliness is funny as heck. It's like funny, and that episode has a good moral as well. But I think this one has a better moral. Washout has a better moral. Actually, no, I think both episodes have good morals though, so I can't really say which is better. Anyway, so what's my final verdict of this episode? I will say the ending was pretty sweet. How Rainbow Dash starts a Scootaloo fan club. I mean, that's very sweet of her. And I think Scootaloo's line also helps this episode too at the end. So yeah, overall, I guess I give it a C plus. Maybe the midward episode of this season, or maybe not. I'm not sure. It's the middle of the road. But I definitely think the positives does help this episode a lot because there could be more things that could make it worse, like a bad episode, like a scum pie episode. But thankfully, it's not a scum pie episode, so that's good. I think that wraps up this actually video. Like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Amino, Blue Sky. Yeah, I have a Blue Sky account now on my phone, so that's great. Make sure to follow me on there. And Snapchat, of course. So, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. And hit that bell icon for new videos coming up soon. My next video will be another Season 8 review. Hooray! But unfortunately, I have to review Are You Happy Now? Nah. Nah. Oh my god, you guys don't know how much I'm gonna dread watching. I mean, talking about Are You Happy Now? Because that episode inspired the Squidward suicide creepypasta. Oh no, I'm not. Also, I'm not talking about the creepypasta in the review because I am not reviewing that stupid creepypasta that is so scary. I'm scared of creepypastas. I'm gonna admit that right now because even the one course meal ones are really scary. Personally, they're sensitive to my bone. So don't even make me review that either. So yeah. Yeah, lesson learned. Never watch creepypastas unless you're gonna get scare the crap out of you, like I did. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Cartoon Retro Boys out.